Yo, what's happening everybody? King GBL here and welcome back to a brand new Pokemon Go video. Today we're going to be rocking with Mantine. Before we do get into today's video, I want to say a big thank you to everybody who supported the last couple of videos. Galarian Moltres and Swampert video. I just uploaded the Galarian Moltres video and the Swampert video done extremely well. So big shout out to you guys, man. Thank you for all the subs, all the likes and all of the support on this brand new channel. If you do go on to enjoy this video, just check down below, make sure you're subscribed. And of course, likes and comments are always much appreciated. But hopping into the gameplay here, Mantine is actually very good. He's a very underrated pick. He's a very underrated pick in the Great League. It runs Bubble Beam, it runs Wing Attack. And I'm sorry, I can't take this seriously right now. I'm like trying not to laugh while saying this. It's because I said he. That's why I'm laughing. He runs Wing Attack, Bubble Beam, and Ice Beam. You can either debuff the opponent and dip out if you do get a switch, or you can go for the Ice Beam against those flyers. And we actually get a Dragonair in this first match. Who would not appreciate an Ice Beam. But anyway, the Dragonair switches back into the Galarian Stunfisk. Obviously, the Cresselia wanted to get out of there. It was debuffed, and he shields up the first potential Earthquake, and we go for the Rock Slide and bring in the Medi, who can just absolutely shred through this Dragonair. I actually do want to run Dragonair, but I just don't really know a good team to run with it. I tried, but I just lost a lot of elo using it, unfortunately. He comes back in with the Cresselia. It's a nice little Ice Punch. I believe we're going to go for the Farm down here. This could be a Moonblast, so we go ahead and shield it up, wisely enough. And yeah, because I sort of expected, that's why I double shielded there. I sort of expected there to be something weak to Medicham in the back. And we had a Cresselia and a Dragonair, nothing extremely weak to counter. The chances are he's got a Steel type in the back. We'll go for the combo play here with the Bubble Beam on the CMP tie. That was actually a very, very good play. And once again, as I keep preaching to you guys, learn the counts. If you learn the counts and know when they're going to throw, you can catch and go for a catch CMP tie, which is a pretty high level play. The Registeel obviously takes that out, and, you know, we're waiting down the clock, but there's really no need to do so. It is just kind of a good practice to wait the clock down, and we're going ahead and farm down the Reggie, and that is a good game. Fun fact, I believe it's called, my son is Japanese, he's half Japanese, half English, well, Northern Irish to be precise, but he speaks English and Japanese, and he always calls Registeel a Regigi. So there you go, there's a little bit of fun trivia, Regigi. But anyway, we're coming into a Chestnut, he does not want to see my boy here. And Obstacoon does not want to see Medi, so it's a pretty hard counter matchup for the opponent here. He gets the unnecessary boost, which you always love to see, and he comes in with the Azu. I decided here, okay, I don't really have a fantastic answer to Azu. Good thing I got all that energy. I'm just going to go for a double Psychic here. I, for some reason, no shield this. I thought it would just be the Ice Beam. I am going ahead and go for the Psychic. I actually did not get a counter in time. I should have countered and then thrown the Psychic, but not really that necessary. We come back in with this bad boy. We come in with the Galarian Stunfisk, and our Switch Clock, I believe, here is not quite up. So I'm literally just throwing this Rock Slide to try and get my Switch Clock. We go on ahead and for the Bubble Beam here, which I'm not sure if it's completely necessary, but I did not want to shield this. The Frenzy Plant, being half Water type, as you can see, that done quite a lot of damage, even though it was debuffed. I did not want to necessarily eat a Frenzy Plant at full damage. And we go ahead and shield the second one up here. Comes back in with the Azu, and you know, it's pretty obvious what's going to happen here. We're just going to Bubble Beam the life out of him. We could obviously go for the Ice Beam, but with him being a Water type, bro, I need to stop using pronouns on Pokemon. It's cracking me up here. It is literally cracking me up, but the opponent was cracking up too, and he decided to top left as he was throwing his Ice Beam, and that is a good game. Very well played. GG's to the opponent. Next up here, we've got a Mantine into an Abomasnow. Pretty positive lead, but once again, like, Mantine, it's not the bulkiest Pokemon in the world. I've got pretty decent IVs on it, so we both actually farm up to a Weather Ball and, you know, swap out, basically. We're in with the Pelipper matchup here. This is not that comfortable, like, we swapped in at the same time, and something that kind of confused me here is why am I able to throw that Rock Slide? I'm pretty sure Pelipper would win CMP, unless he, like, lagged a turn or something like that, but he's farming up a little bit more. At this point, we can pretty much just let it go. We've got him down to about 25% health here. We can come in with the Mantine, I believe, and just farm it down. Yeah, we've got an absolute ton of energy. Actually, I do decide to go for the Ice Beam here. Just get him out of there. So in comes the Medicham. This opponent was kind of double weak to a flying type, which is a little bit risky if you ask me. Mantine probably fits that perfectly. Obviously, Abomasnow can have a fairly even matchup against a lot of flyers, but with my double typing with water, I do resist the ice moves. So we're just going to go ahead and go for Bubble Beams here, swap it out, and of course we know there's an Abomasnow in the back. Look how much damage that done. I feel like there's some bug at the moment where when opponents switch in, they actually take more damage. I had a match where an opponent swapped in a Talonflame, and I countered him down with 5 counters. It done like Ice Punch damage, basically, on the Talonflame. I feel like there's a bug right now where you get actually more damage when you're swapping in. Let me know if you guys have seen that too. But we're just gonna farm this down. He realizes, you know, there's not a whole lot I can do. He actually stopped punching, and, you know, being a little bit cheeky, I kind of like to play with them, like, you know, just top left, honestly. Actually, don't top left. I will just stand and stare you down for a minute or throw a charge move. I do like to be a little bit cheeky like that, to be honest with you. But here we go. We're into a Noctowl. Noctowl is not going to want to see this. He goes into the Chestnut, and I'm like, okay. I don't know why I swapped in this, to be honest with you. I'm not sure why I done this, because this is another answer to Noctowl. That was terrible, honestly. There was absolutely no reason for me to do this whatsoever. I've just kind of basically thrown away my Galarian Stunfisk for no reason. Chestnut can run superpower, so we did shield it up, but even a Frenzy Plant would be doing a lot of damage. We get him down to basically 1 HP in a Dream. He goes ahead and obviously throws the superpower, and we come back in here with Mantine. But definitely not the correct play. I mean, I probably should have just stayed in there and let my Galarian Stunfisk deal with the Noctowl, but for some reason, like, it's just one of them things where you see opponents swapping out and you're just trying to swap out as well. Definitely made a bit of a mistake there, but we decided, yeah, you know, it's kind of a weird one. Like, why would he swap in another grass type into our flying type? It didn't really make sense. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to hold on to the Mantine just in case. We're going to eat the Shadow Ball, and we're going to hold on to Mantine here to see what's in the back. He does manage to get to another move, unfortunately, which puts me down to 0 shields. And he's got a Meganium in the back. I could not believe my eyes here. There's a Meganium in the back. Are you serious? He does shield that Bubble Beam, which is pretty... it's my pretty much only win condition. But look at this, boom. A Frenzy Plant puts in just an absolute ton of work, and Meganium is an absolute tank. He can just eat this Ice Beam for breakfast. I just put an ice in his drink for him. And of course, anything he throws here will take us out. This guy was running triple weak to ice, a Noctowl double grass. Unfortunately, we weren't able to win that. And we do get ourselves a nice little Dratini here. I think if I hadn't thrown away my Stunfisk like that and swapped in the Medi, or just stayed in with Mantine, I probably should have won that match, but that is kind of the one disadvantage with Mantine. Being a flying and water type, it is sort of neutral to grass. It has a really nice niche in this meta, but it's definitely not without its disadvantages here anyway. But I have to say, I definitely did have a really good time with Mantine. As you guys can see, I'm getting a lot of just very dominant matchups. In comes Diggersby. I haven't seen Diggersby in a little minute as well. I've actually been quite tempted to run that. Of course, he is weak to Medicham and off runs. The Ice Punch is... It actually does not do that much damage. He must have a pretty highly ranked Diggersby. I think that only done about 30% damage or something, and he lands the Earthquake. So this is actually getting close, like he can just Fire Punch at this point. Yeah, it's getting rather close. And we're going to go for an Ice Punch here before he gets to another. Let's see what he wants to do here. He actually wants to shield it. And yeah, I realized that the counter that I done will knock him out. So I decided to stay at Take Switch. We've dropped a shield each, and we'll get a little bit of chip on this Medi. And obviously come back in with the Mantine. I definitely have been tempted to run Diggersby because there are a lot of ground types in the meta, like the Bastiodons. I believe it wins against Stunfisk. It wins against all the main sort of steel types in the meta currently. So I think Diggersby actually could be a good shout. Back in Season 12, I've seen a lot of people running Noctowl. This is before the buff as well, with Diggersby. And maybe like a Medicham lead. So I feel like that would actually be quite a good team. Yeah, with these debuffs, the Ice Punches are doing absolutely nothing. We're going to go for the big Ice Beam on the Noctowl. Let's see what he wants to do here. He's just going to eat that. Oh, he doesn't have shields. Guys, I'm sorry with my commentary sometimes. Like, I don't be paying attention to the gameplay at times. And I'm like, oh, you know, he might shield this up and he's got no shield. I'm just kind of going on tangents here, but we're going to go for this. We actually go for an undercharge here, which is definitely an interesting play. I probably undercharged it just a little bit too much. I'm leaving this in quite a precarious position. Can we actually get this? I realize no, he's just about to hit another Sky Attack. So we do have to go for this. I think it was a smart play because obviously I want to get as much damage off in the Medi as possible before the Stunfisk goes out. And I want to leave him on as low health as possible so that the Medi doesn't get a farm down. So overall, definitely the right play there, but it was getting a little bit sketchy towards the end and we do manage to take it out. I felt like my lose condition there could be taking him out, getting farmed down by the Medi before getting Earthquake off, and then eating a Psychic or something on my Mantine. But we catch the, speaking of catches, we catch the Rock Slide on Medi. and we'll see what he wants to come in here with. He's got the Sableye, who, you know, he's not an Ice Punch enjoyer per se, but he's at no real risk. You know, he can basically farm me the whole way down, or go for a foul play if he wants to, which he does obviously go ahead and do. We can let that go, and come back in with the Mantine. We realise that he's only one attack off a foul play, so I throw this Ice Beam straight away. I think the opponent probably lost track of my energy. He did have a foul play ready to go there, but he comes back in with the Galarian Stunfisk, and this was just a really tough team. I was dancing around, I was trying my hardest to get in and out of the Galarian Stunfisk matchup, but he comes in with the Medicham, and I'm sure you guys can see the writing on the wall here. It's going to be very tough to overcome this. We were basically just hard countered on every side. Like, he's even got a Power Punch, so he's just going to be taking me out all that much quicker. I probably should be top lefting here, but I think I'm just being a little bit annoying to the opponent here. He goes for the Ice Punch. I mean, we could go for a bunch of Ice Beams and Bubble Beams, but none of it is going to make a difference. The Medi has got this in the bag. Even though we've got 2 shields, he still has a fairly healthy Galarian Stunfisk in the back, and yeah, it is just game over at this point, guys. It is just game over at this point, unfortunately. We were just kind of hard countered the whole way throughout, and we weren't able to take a foothold in this match, but I am here spamming Bubble Beams, just being annoying to the opponent, where I probably should just top left. I think my win condition that match was that the opponent's phone died, or he drops his phone, or his mother comes in and says, "Get off the phone right now! Stop playing Go Battle League!" That was pretty much my only win condition there, but we're coming into a Tropius. I have not seen a Tropius once again in a while. I feel like people are kind of switching up a little bit. We had a very hard meta for this last while, like lots of Bastiodons, tons of Flyers. We just absolutely just send the Tropius just back to the jungle. I believe that's probably where he's from. He looks like a sort of jungle-dwelling Pokemon or something like that. We just send him back to the jungle. Back into the Pokecenter you go, my friend. And we go into the mirror matchup here. I absolutely hate this matchup. We decide to null shield this. We're going to call the Earthquake, and yeah, unfortunately he does Earthquake us, but we can come back in, get a ton of farm, and as we always do with Medicham and Azumarill, throw a Psychic, and then obviously swap into our next Pokemon when it's available. Unfortunately, the switch clock is kind of locked here. I do want to keep the Medicham a little bit healthy, but here we go. We're going to come in with the Mantine, and we're just going to go for an absolute ton of Bubble Beams and a ton of farms. The Azumarill is not going to have a very good time here. I can basically tank anything at this point. He's got to play rough. That is absolutely fine. We're just going to Bubble Beam the absolute life out of him. This is probably like the most annoying matchup for the opponent, because there's just not really a whole lot they can do. We did go for this Ice Beam because we do want to, you know, eventually take it out. Like, he somehow decides to shield that. I'm really not sure what that was about. I'm not sure what that was about. I feel like shielding something on the Stunfisk might have been better, but I think in either case, I've caught so many Rock Slides this video. If you make it to this point in the video, comment down below Rock Slide, because I've caught about 4 of them this video. We catch with the Rock Slide. I might as well call it here. Like, I might as well just drop the shield. There's no reason not to at this point. The Azumarill's so low. Even if it is the play rough, which it is, we can come back in here, and he's doing very low damage, and we do take it by the skin of our teeth. But that is Mantine in the Great League, guys. I actually did enjoy that quite a lot. Definitely would recommend lining it up in either a double flyer team, which you've seen in the last couple of videos. It has quite a unique place in the meta where it has quite good matchups against like Noctowl, and you can do a little bit of damage against the steel types, but it does not perform obviously anything like Noctowl. The one thing that I really like about this is if you win your lead, debuff the next opponent that comes in and dip into your next Pokemon. That seems to be a really effective tactic. Kind of dancing around with Mantine, throwing Bubble Beams, baiting the Ice Beam and all that kind of stuff. It works extremely well with this Pokemon. Guys, if you did enjoy today's video, a like rating would be very much appreciated. And go ahead and drop a sub, drop a comment down below if you have any feedback. If there's anything you want to let me know, or you know, just let me know. If you made it to this point in the video, just comment Rock Slide in the comments down below. I want to see if you guys enjoyed the Rock Slide catches. But thanks everybody for watching. Catch you guys in the next one, and most importantly, have a fantastic rest of your day.